Hello everyone, welcome back to today's Frag Pro Shooter video. My name is Flag, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the balance of the game, nerfing and buffing some cards, and what can be done to shake up the game a little bit. But I'm not alone today, I have two special guests with me. I have two pros on audio. I'm really thrilled to have last season, Season 9's #1 player on ladder, GodRippin from Rise of Gods.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to talk with you.
Sure. And Season 9's #2 player in Germany, Redeem from Digital Knockout.
Hello, this is Redeemer from Germany, and I'm also happy to be part of this one.
So what's going on with you guys? How are you guys doing with staying at home and playing Frag and everything?
I'm doing well so far. So during the Corona lockdown, there's a lot of time to playing Frag. I'm on home office, so yeah, there's a lot of time to play Frag.
Yeah, sounds great. And you, GodRippin?
Well, I haven't actually gone out of my house for a month and a half, and I played 12 hours a day Frag, so this lockdown has only one word to describe it, and it's Frag.
Yeah, nice. All right, so anyway, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the general state of the game a little bit. So how do you guys find the general balance of Frag right now? Do you think it's balanced overall, or is it only a small number of cards that are viable that you simply put in your deck? For example, right now, Solartron is strong, so you just put him in your deck no matter what the other cards are in your deck.
Okay, so I see that there are a lot of cards, but you only see the same 10, maybe 15 of them rotating in people's decks. I think that we must clarify that there's a difference between when you play in the first arenas and the last arenas. Because when I started playing, I just used whichever card I unlocked. And then you figure out how the game works, and you know that if you don't follow the meta game, you're going to struggle a lot to get trophies.
Redeem?
All right, so I totally agree with that. So in the lower areas, you use cards like, I don't know, Virus, Jack, El Padre and stuff. And if we go to the higher areas, it totally changed to Ronin right now, the boss, Crystal and stuff. So there are not too many cards you could use to be good in the higher areas, but I think the balance of the whole game is a good one. So it changed a little bit after they add Ronin to the game, so this changed a little bit everything, but I would say the game is well balanced so far. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I actually agree with that. I think overall the game is kind of balanced, but at the same time it's only like those 15 or 20 cards that GodRippin said that are actually viable in higher ladder. So now let's talk about specific cards a little bit. Before moving to our list, how do you guys find Ronin after the recent nerf? Do you think that was enough and he's balanced now, or is he still strong? Redeem, you can go first this time if you want.
All right, I think Ronin is still too strong, still overpowered to me. So if you play in a normal match, like you have different levels to the characters, it could be okay. You always find a card like the boss who can beat Ronin. But if you play a friendly match or a tournament, Ronin is still too overpowered to the other level 9 characters if you play a tournament or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you also suggest a balance for him? Like, do you want his damage nerfed or his HP nerfed, or what do you think should change with him?
Oh yeah, maybe the cooldown after the kill from the ulti, it should give the normal time, like if it's 20 seconds or 10 seconds, I can't remember. So there should be a cooldown during the use of the ulti.
So right now it's 1 second after each kill.
Oh yeah. So that cooldown should be longer, I think.
Right. And GodRippin?
I can't agree with what Redeem said. We recently made a tournament inside our clan, and we decided to not use Ronin at all. For the next one, we are going to ban the boss too. The nerf Ronin got was good, but I think he still needs a little damage reduction. With this nerf, this balance change, it allows me to play without him in my deck, but you see, when you're not using him, you still struggle a bit.
I gotta agree with both of you guys. I do think that Ronin is still too strong. He's seen all over the ladder, upwards, 6,000 trophies or something. And if you have your auto shoot on, and of course almost everyone does, I think, when he uses his super to dash onto an enemy troop, he also auto shoots. And basically he can one-shot a lot of troops, such as Pocahontas, Andromeda, Amelie, Dan, Jap, Medusa, and the list goes on. So he can basically chain attack multiple troops that are bunched up together on defense. I find this to be a little bit too strong and ridiculous, and when you look at these cards that get one-shot, you realize that these are cards that even before run-in weren't being played that much, and now they're almost not being used at all. So I suggest reducing his damage dramatically so he cannot one-shot so many troops, and to compensate, maybe slightly increase his HP so he's not going to be bad. The viewers can let us know in the comment section what they think about run-in and our balance suggestions. Alright, so we all have 4 cards that we've selected, one of each rarity to get either a nerf or a buff, and we are excluding running from our lists because we're already waiting on running. This time I'm gonna start with GodRippin. So tell us how many nerfs and buffs you have, and then which cards and what stats you want to see balanced.
Well, I decided to talk only about buffs because you see, if you nerf the cards that are used now, you're not going to see the less used cards used more. You're still going to see the cards that we are using now, but they are not as powerful as they are now. For my common card, I chose Dan. I think Dan should get a little buff to be viable. His super is too weak to be competitive. I'm referring to the time to regenerate HPs, and his DPS should get a little buff too. For the red card, I chose Rick Rock. I like Rick Rock as a character, and he's not that bad, but I would change a little stun reduction for a DPS buff. That way he could be more competitive on his own. For the epic card, I chose Hakuryu. He's a character with a lot of potential, but you can never benefit from his ability. It takes 3 kills to charge, but it's almost impossible to get those 3 kills, because his normal hit is too weak. And also, he has too much recoil. They could change his super to give a boost to his DPS and increase the speed after a kill. For the legendary card, I chose Mr. Tiger. I really like this concept, but every time you have to reload, it seems like he's going to buy ammo at the shop. When you finish the magazine, you're basically dead. His super takes too long to actually land a shot too.
Okay, Redeem, what do you think about his 4 suggestions?
I had the cards also in mind. So Mr. Tiger, I really thought about him. What can we do to buff him? But I had no great ideas. So I took another card. So yeah, I think Mr. Tiger has a great potential, but isn't that good now. So he really needs to get buffed. Also, Hayakuri, his ulti is weak. So I played him in a tournament, and I really struggled with him. So that's, yeah. They really need a buff.
Yeah, I also agree with all 4 suggestions, and especially Hakuryo. I think, as you said, like it's almost impossible to get 3 kills with him and then use his super. So sometimes even when I don't even have a kill, I suddenly like tap on the super to see if anything happens, and nothing happens. So I agree with you. Okay, so Redeem, what are your cards?
All right, for the common card, I pick Vandal. I really like to play with her. She's a really strong character. She's really fast. But I don't know how to use her ulti right. So maybe they should change the slowdown for the enemies to a damage mode, similar to the Molotov cocktail from Jack. Maybe something like that to make her a little bit more aggressive. Mm-hmm. For the Ra card, I took Sogeki-chan. So in my opinion, she's the worst character of all, and really needs a very strong buff. So I think she needs a longer range and way more damage to her sniper rifle. And like we said before, I really don't know how to use her ulti, and yeah, they have to change something there. For my epic card, I choose Quarterback. Honestly, I really like this card, but it's very, very hard to control this character in-game. So maybe they should change the shots to a straight shot and a little bit more faster. So his ulti is very nice. I like to play with her, but most of the time I really boost myself out of the map. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. It happens a lot, especially with the AI.
Yeah, true. Yeah, for my legendary, I choose to nerf a card. So I took the boss. He is, in my opinion, the best defensive character in the deck and very strong. even in a low level. His ulti is very good. It makes him to the card he used to be. So maybe they should reduce his ammo to 5 shots, or maybe lower the range of their shots or something like that. But yeah, it's a really strong card. Yeah.
Okay, so GodRippin, what do you think about Redeem's suggestions?
I agree with what Redeem said about the boss, but I would like to be able to kill those spawn characters. And
Okay.
and his super duration is a little too long.
Yeah, maybe that is a good point to make it a bit shorter.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, especially with the boss, but he's already on my list, so with also the other cards, I agree with everything.
Yeah,
So-
I would like to say something about Sogeki-chan too.
Sure.
So I used her, and I think his sniper is not that bad. Maybe the range should be buffed, and the super should be erased completely and rethought from scratch.
Right. I agree with that. I actually think Sogeki-chan is not as bad as she is on ladder. For example, like when you get her on random deck, and the random deck draft challenges, she's actually decent. Like you can get some kills with her. But as you guys said, her super is just bad, and maybe increasing her range would be good. So, alright, it's my turn with the buffs and the nerfs. I have made a meme clip of my 4 cards, which the viewers can see in the background, and I hope they don't take it too seriously. So, I have 3 nerfs and 1 buff on my list. I'll start with the nerfs. I have Blood for my rare card balance. I have Lucha Morta for my epic balance. For my legendaries, I want the boss nerfed, and for my common, I want to see a buff to Snow. Starting with Blood, he got a nerf in the last balance, but I think he's played too much at higher ladder. So up close, he deals massive damage, and he gets double the damage if he aims for the head. I think if they reduce the headshot multiplier from ×2 to ×1.5, maybe he would be more balanced. For my epics, Lucha Muerta is everywhere. Low ladder, high ladder, almost everywhere you can see Lucha Muerta. And this should prove that he leans on the OP side of the spectrum. But I also understand that he has a special place in the game. He's one of the few melee troops after all, other than Ronin. So I don't want him changed much. I want to increase his HP just a little bit and nerf his fire rate or hit speed. This way when the opponents form a huge attack, you can first kill the support units and then go after Lucha. For my legendary nerf, I love the boss, he's really powerful and fun, but he's slightly OP and I admit it. And a lot of people complain about him too. One of the main reasons for this is that his super can get way too much value sometimes. Therefore, I'm suggesting a reduction of the range of his super just a little bit. I don't know how long it is right now, it doesn't say in the stats. And also make it so that if he dies in the middle of his super, the robots that he summons also die. Because right now, if you're using the boss and you have low HP, you can use it on the opponent. And even if you die, the troops are gonna get trapped in his super and die. So, and Snow, he's just really bad. I haven't seen him on ladder in a very long time. One of the reasons is that his super just doesn't do anything. He just jumps off the map for whatever reason. And I can think of a specific scenario where his super is gonna be actually good. I want the number of his ammo to increase from 10 to 12 bullets and also allow him to shoot while doing his super, just like Fragman. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, that is totally a good idea to give Snow a better super, so shooting while using his super is a great idea, and also maybe give him a little bit more damage on his shots would be a good idea.
And GodRippin?
Yes, I agree with what you said about Snow. I think that his damage is not that bad actually if you're face to face with the enemy, so as an increase of his range should be good. His super, I think it's too long. You cannot time it to not fall off the map. So, and you cannot change your direction while doing it. It's like a super to suicide.
Yeah.
Well said.
What you said about the boss, it's like what we said about the boss, so we're on the same page. And Blot, I think he's a bit too strong now. I like what you've suggested to reduce his damage multiplier on the head because he just one-shots everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you want to say anything, Rudy?
Yeah, Plot should be a card to get damage on the towers, But yeah, he's really a good weapon against everything. So maybe the double damage on headshot should be reduced. Yeah.
I'm really glad that you guys agree with me, and maybe in the next balance or sometime later, we're gonna see some of these changes applied to the cards. So for our last topic, I want your opinion on what Frag can do to improve the balancing of the game. We already know that the balance meter is gonna come in the next update as a new feature. I'm gonna show it in the video, by the way. First of all, what do you think about this balance meter?
I saw what you showed me for the balance meter, and if it's used correctly, it can be a great tool to see what the community thinks about it, about a card.
And Redeem?
Yeah, I think it's a nice way to make it more clear how to get a nice review for the cards. So these are two most important things. I think the fun and the balance of the card. So given a 5-star rating is very easy to choose from. So it's a nice way to review the cards.
They should also take out those daily quests to review cards, because everyone is just reviewing cards randomly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and what do you guys think about adding new game modes, new maps that demand certain cards to win?
I think I can start.
Yeah, sure.
All right. New game mode would be great. I think the gameplay in general is nearly perfect, so there's no need to change anything big. But maybe some modes for some days, not for the whole time, but maybe something like a capture the flag mode. I think that would fit perfectly for the frag gaming. So you can take the flags from the opponent, bring it back to your base. Maybe this would be a game mode which brings a lot of fun.
Yeah, great idea. Okay, and what sort of other changes do you want to see made to the cards to introduce some new strategy and shake up the balance?
Oh, I just wanted to say that they should change the central cards AI, because, well, they just don't do anything if they haven't got the attack quest. When you're attacking a bunker and you have a central card like, for example, Lollipop, when the attack time's out, she just goes back to the center of the map. So
yeah, standing there and doing nothing.
Okay.
I have a next point. I would talk about what they can change. It just comes into my mind. It's about the protective shield.
oh yes, that.
Yeah, so there's this protective shield which the characters get from time to time, and I honestly don't really understand to which situation they get this shield. So sometimes it's really, really horrible. So if you're attacking Lucia on the tower, on your own tower, and all of a sudden he gets the shield. So this is really hard. So I don't understand why there is this protective shield. So maybe they should just delete it completely. Maybe for 5 seconds after respawn for the character, but not during a normal attack or something. Yeah.
I can tell you when you get those shields. You get those shields when you die and you switch to a character. If you switch to a character when you're not dead, you don't get the shield. I agree with you though. They should reduce the time, because when you die and you choose another character, maybe you need 2 or 3 seconds to understand what's going on, and the shield comes handy. But 5 seconds, it's a little too much.
Yeah, I didn't know like why sometimes you do get the shield and sometimes you don't get it in the middle of the match either. Thanks for clarifying it. Maybe they could reduce the time that they have the shield by a second or 2. I don't know how long it is right now, but thanks for pointing it out, Redeem. Thank you. All right, that's it for our discussion about Frag Pro Shooter's balance. I want to thank both of my pros who gave us their time and opinion. Is there anything else you want to add, like your social media or where people can find you? Redeem first. You want to go first?
So you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram of Digital Knockout is DKO_Digital Knockout. And for my personal player is Redeemer.
I'm going to make sure to put the links in the descriptions of this video. And GodRippin?
Well, I just wanted to thank you for having me. And you can find me and my clan on Instagram. It's frag_pro. And I don't have any personal account, but you can see my videos on there.
Okay, great. It was great to have you guys. So before finishing the video, I want to give a huge thanks to everyone on Frag, especially Canly. They were kind enough to mention my name in Frag's latest video on YouTube. Make sure to check it out to find out about more Frag content creators. Lastly, thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of video, subscribe, like, and drop a comment letting me know. Also, make sure to subscribe to both of my pros and send them a message if you want to. Stay safe, everyone, until the next video.
Hold on.